has confirmed to CNN from their information that Israel has struck inside of Syria. They were targeting a convoy that was carrying SA-17 missiles that were heading to Hezbollah, to Lebanon, which is right on the border, as you know, with Israel.
Lebanese security sources claim Israeli forces hit an armed convoy on the Syria-Lebanon border. The reports come at a time of growing concern in the Jewish state about Syria's arsenal of chemical weapons, as the civil war there continues to escalate. The Lebanese army says there was a strong presence of Israeli jets overnight. There is no confirmed information about the exact nature or location of the target. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held a meeting of security chiefs to discuss Syria last week. And his Vice Premier Silvan Shalom said on Sunday that any sign that the country was losing its grip on its chemical weapons could trigger Israeli military strikes.
There are conflicting claims about an apparent airstrike by Israeli forces inside Syria. Regional security sources quoted by Reuters say the Israeli attack targeted a convoy of trucks allegedly carrying weapons to the Lebanese group Hezbollah. Israel has refused to comment, but Syrian state news agency says Israel attacked a scientific research facility, killing 2 workers. Rula Amin has the latest from Beirut.
What we know, according to the Syrian government, is that the target was a military scientific research center. They say as you said, 2 people were killed, 5 people were injured, and a lot of damage to the building. It happened in an area in the countryside of the capital, Damascus.
To our breaking news story here on RT, Israeli jets have carried out a deadly bombing raid on a military research center near the Syrian capital, Damascus. That's according to a statement from the Syrian government. At least 2 people have died in the attack and 5 more have been wounded. Let's cross to RT's Paula Slier for more on this latest development. Paula, what do we know at this point?
Well, the Syrian army has said that Israeli jets crossed into Syria below the radar level at dawn on Wednesday and hit a military research center in Jamra near the capital city of Damascus. Now, according to the military, they carried out, and I'm quoting, an act of aggression, bombarding the site, causing large-scale material damage, as well as destroying the building. And that was a statement that was quoted on Syrian state television. The military also added that 2 site workers were killed in the strike. Now, earlier there were reports that Israeli planes had struck a convoy carrying weapons from Syria to Lebanon. The information actually came from the United States as well as regional officials.
Out an airstrike inside Syria for the first time in more than 5 years. Now, regional security sources quoted by the Reuters news agency say that Israeli aircraft attacked a convoy of trucks carrying weapons towards the border with Lebanon. The Syrian state news agency, however, says Israeli jets have bombed a scientific research center in Jamra on the outskirts of the capital, Damascus.
We begin today with news from Syria. Reports from the region confirm that Israel has launched an attack on weapons allegedly destined for Hezbollah, a political group in Lebanon allied with the Assad regime and Iran. The attack occurred on the Syrian side of the country's border with Lebanon. This according to Reuters.
Well, we can start off with what we officially know from the sources of those that we've been speaking to. One, the Syrian government has come out, confirmed the airstrike took place at a military research facility northwest of Damascus. It also confirmed that 2 people were killed, 5 were injured, and there was substantial material damage. We also know from the Lebanese government that, in fact, Israeli airplanes violated Lebanese airspace multiple times on Wednesday in an attempt to suggest that Israeli airplanes flew in the direction of Syria. And we've also learned from the United States government that, in fact, Israel carried out airstrikes targeting a convoy that was carrying weapons to Hezbollah.
me about a very, very serious war that is coming. And I've seen a lot of military aircrafts, many aircrafts, military aircrafts, military airplanes. These are fighter aircrafts, and a lot of them at the same time crossing over to attack a nation. So there is going to be a serious war that is going to take place with a lot of military aircrafts involved. And this war is one of the signs of this hour. The Lord spoke with me this past night about massive aircrafts, large numbers of aircrafts crossing over to go and strike.
We also know from the Lebanese government that, in fact, Israeli airplanes violated Lebanese airspace multiple times on Wednesday in an attempt to suggest that Israeli airplanes flew in the direction of Syria.
Syrian state television is blaming Israel for 2 deaths and 5 people being injured in the destruction of what it says is a research center. Unconfirmed reports claim Israeli Defense Force jets bombed a convoy in Syria on its way to Lebanon, carrying weapons bound for militant group Hezbollah. IDF jets were in Lebanese airspace for over 15 hours, including the time the bombing took place. Many suspect if the strike was carried out by Israel.
Lebanon's military says Israeli jets flew into Syrian airspace 3 times. Well, in a statement carried by state media, they said the planes crossed into Syria below radar level just north of Mount Hermon and returned the same way.
The US and regional officials say that they conducted this airstrike inside Syria near the border with Lebanon, hitting this convoy of trucks.
So there is going to be a serious war that is going to take place with a lot of military aircrafts involved. And this war is one of the signs of this hour. The Lord is speaking at this hour about now the downstream events. Out of this comes now the Iranian war, the war that will be between Israel and Iran. And yesterday, the Lord spoke with me this past night about massive aircrafts, large numbers of aircrafts crossing over to go and strike